Hi there, this is David and welcome to our impressions of Metal Max XENO REBORN for the PlayStation 4, PC, and the Nintendo Switch. The Metal Max series has a long and storied history, beginning on the NES in Japan. It's beloved by millions over there. However, our first taste of the series was Metal Saga on the PS2. Metal Max games are known for their non-linear, open-ended, post-apocalyptic, steampunky gameplay. And because of their relative obscurity in the West, I'm not as well-versed in this series as I am in many other long-running franchises, but I was thrilled to check it out. Published by P-Cube, the developer sent me an email asking if I would like to receive their collector's edition, and I enthusiastically jumped at the chance. There's just so much cool stuff included in this, and you know that I love a good collector's edition. But what I love even more is a good game, so let's get right into the review. At the start, you're thrust into a post-apocalyptic landscape and given no exposition whatsoever. You're just a nameless, silent protagonist forced to make your way out into the world. However, if any game could use an instruction manual, it's this one. I really miss instruction manuals, but that's another rant for another time. There is an in-depth tutorial included, but you need to access that on your own. And what tutorials are there aren't exactly the most fleshed out. As you make your way through the ruins, you'll encounter monsters who begin attacking you. And you better think fast, because the game isn't going to tell you how to attack back. Essentially, it uses kind of an active turn-based combat that's almost similar to something like Grandia, where you wait for a circle to fill up, and then you can choose your command. It's kind of cool though, because the battles occur right then and there on the screen, and you can get a jump on them and attack from a distance if you're stealthy. Wandering around the ruins, I saw a tank and I promptly boarded it and then mowed everything down in my path. Making my way a little bit further into the wasteland of Dystopia, I came across Humanity's Refuge, or at least what's left of it, which works as your home base, and it's here that you finally get some semblance of tutorials, as well as some direction. Too bad this wasn't at the beginning of the game. It's here that you can customize your tank, rest, buy and build new weapons, and undergo quests. Also, fast travel's implemented here, and you're pretty much just kind of let loose to go out and explore the wastelands, hunt monsters, and check for the other survivors. I'm not going to lie. For the first hour or so of the game, I didn't like it. I was frustrated by the lack of direction and explanation, and I really didn't think that it was going to be like my type of game. But after making it to the refuge, it became more forgiving, and I found myself enjoying it a bit more. Moving around in the tank though, it just sucks. You use R2 to move forward, and then L2 to move backwards, and then the joystick to turn around. And if you're not used to tank controls, you're going to get real frustrated real fast. And I'm not used to them. There's a lot of little teeny tiny things sticking out from the desert too that you really can't get past. And then to collect the treasures, you have to get right up next to them, and then open them up, or you have to get in and out of your tank constantly if you can't finagle your tank into the narrow areas. This gets real annoying real fast. Then there's pits and divots in the sand dunes that you really can't see ahead of you, and also little bricks and containers constantly getting in your way. I feel like the environment should have been like double the size just to compensate for these horrible tank controls. Or they could have just let you control the tank like you control your regular character. I hate tank controls. It's like the developers put them into the game just to purposely slow you down and piss you off. I don't understand why they're still around. Whenever you can control the character normally, why do they make it so hard to control the tank? Exploring these vast open desert experiences filled with the ruins of Tokyo really brought me back to the beginning areas of SMT5, complete with a silent protagonist. Only there you're fighting against demons and then recruiting them. Whereas here you're fighting against mutated animals, mowing bitches down with your tank, and finding lost survivors of humanity. I hate to compare the two, but I really can't help it. SMT5 was much more open, with a variety of landscapes to look at, and tons of buildings to actually enter and explore, filled with nooks and crannies and little secrets to discover, whereas this is just emptier. You might see some buildings off in the distance, but you can't actually get inside of them. They just act as roadblocks instead. And I can understand that it doesn't have the budget of SMT5, but I do just wish that there was more to see and do off the beaten path. The main draw of the game is obviously the building and the upgrading of your tank, which is quite extensive. And believe me, you're going to have to spend a good amount of time tinkering with it if you want to get anywhere, because these hunts can be hard. Hunts are essentially wanted monsters that you're tasked to fight, and while you meet up with them early and often, you're not going to stand a chance against them until at least about 5 or so hours in. So get ready to run and get ready to die, because no one said that this was an easy game. You're going to have to use strategy, positioning, and outfitting your tank just right in order to stand a chance against them. Even though this is a remake of the original game, they still didn't add in any English voice acting, which is a shame, especially since there's just not a lot of characters in general. But I also found the battle system to be a bit frustrating as well. You use X to retreat, but you also use X to confirm actions. So a lot of the time I was accidentally began to retreat in the middle of a battle rather than actually attacking them with my cannons. Now, even though Metal Max is known for its non-linearity, don't think that this is completely open-ended. The path through Dystopia is surprisingly linear, though as the game does give you plenty of guidance in the form of quests, they are also given to you automatically, and in a welcome reprieve, once you complete a quest, you don't have to go back to the quest giver to get the reward. You just get the reward then and there. It's so nice. Completing the quests, hunting for treasures, hunting the hunts, finding the hidden items, and building relationships is really how you're going to gain levels and get the most out of this title. So if this looks like something that you can get behind, you've got a quirky, unique experience, but only if you can get past all of its budgety flaws. Well, that's it for my impressions and review of Metal Max XENO Reborn. If you like this video and what I do here on the channel, please consider supporting me over on Patreon for exclusive videos and early access to my content, heading on over to Twitch for some streaming fun, or coming over to my Discord to chat and hang out. The links to them all can be found in the video description. This has been David. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.